So it's been a day. I am in Sheffield tonight. I'm in a hotel because I have an exciting day of filming tomorrow. I have been working in the background with a brand called Mobility in Motion, who have agreed to do a partnership with me, and we're going to be doing all sorts together. It's really exciting. So tomorrow we're going to be filming a bit about it, and I'll be doing some vlog bits as well to show the experience of what it is like to go to Mobility in Motion, to have a driving assessment, and to kind of figure out what adaptations they have that might support. I'm excited. I went there a few months ago, met the team, and honestly, they're just incredible. They're going to sponsor my taekwondo journey for the next year. They are wanting to get involved with Limb Match and be a sponsor for Limb Match or a partner. They want me to do some disability training for the team, and now I'm going to be their brand ambassador as well. And it was such a lovely experience. I've never had it before, where I went in and I had the whole marketing team there, and they were just like, they wanted to hear my story, they wanted to hear everything, they wanted to understand the journey and taekwondo and the businesses and everything. They're so lovely, and they felt like they had a really deep understanding of disability already, and they're so user focused. They're not a company that's in it for a margin, or they're not in it to give people adaptations they don't need to make more money. You can just see they're in it for the individual and the freedom it unlocks for them, and it's so lovely. And they had so many passionate stories to tell us, and I come at it from a really different angle, where I haven't used an adaptation before. I've used an adaptation once for drifting at Mercedes-Benz because they had an adapted car, and in that car was a steering ball. So I tried it for drifting, and actually, I shouldn't endorse that. If you're doing it on a skid pan with an instructor, a steering ball, it's pretty damn good. I've never tried anything else, and when I first went to drive, it took me a while. I was very reluctant because I'd had a few losses due to driving in my life, and I didn't feel ready for it. I didn't feel the need for it. I lived in a town, I lived near my university, didn't need it, and eventually thought, right, I'll try. Found this instructor who was supposed to be an expert in supporting disabled people driving. She pretty much looked at me and was like, you're going to need about 3 grand worth of adaptations for you to drive. And at the time I was at university, my partner had a company car, so you can't put adaptations on a company car. So I was looking down the end of a bill of paying for driving lessons, doing all the tests, finding the right adaptation, buying a car, paying for the insurance, paying for all the stuff, paying for the adaptation, then I could drive. So it wouldn't be a shock to hear that I came away from that again. I was like, I'm not going to drive then, not for now, because I don't understand the process. And then a few months later, my partner at the time, his driving instructor said he would have a look at me. Not great words, but I was like, fine, have a look. Got me in a car, and he just sat me a bit closer to the wheel, and he was like, you can pass. And luckily, he was on the board at the DVLA, local DVLA, I think. This was about 12 years ago now. And he took his questions to the board because he was on it, and he asked them, because all the driving examiners were in the room and stuff. He explained the situation, and he said, look, if she shows control of the car, and she's like, can she drive a manual? Can she drive an automatic? What are your thoughts? And they basically came out and said, no adaptations, she can drive a manual. So, long story short, passed the test. Just driven myself up to Sheffield, so I hope so. And it's just wild. So that put me off the concept of adaptations, because I was told it was expensive and it just felt out of reach. And I know that in terms of trying to apply through the systems we have in the UK, I wouldn't get anywhere. So, never done it. And then went to Mobility in Motion, and they showed me the cars, they showed me the adaptations, they showed me what I could have. And I just talked about the fact that I broke my arm, and now when I'm driving, especially if I'm driving up to GB, 4 or 5 hour drive, like driving up here just now, there's a strain on my wrist, my hand gets a bit sore. I think that would happen to anybody who essentially broke their arm in half, let alone when you're just relying on this hand. So I told them all of that, and they showed me a few adaptations and stuff. So super excited to go back there tomorrow, do some proper filming, take you guys along with me, and just hang out with them as well. They're just such a lovely team. I think I'll have the best day. I'm sad that Harvey can't be here with us. He's had to stay home for childcare duties, so I appreciate that. So I've got a filming day tomorrow, and then we are going away with some friends I haven't seen in probably about a year now. We're gonna go stay in this beautiful farmhouse with a jacuzzi outside. Hopefully it's not raining. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? But yeah, and just hang out with them, have a bit of a girly plus Harvey weekend. The brief is cozy, pubs, winter, jacuzzi. So it's gonna be nice. But now I don't know what time it is. I think I'm gonna treat myself to an early night because I've been sleeping terribly and I want to make sense tomorrow. And I feel like I'm gonna be on all day looking down this bad boy. Got some photos, there's a studio, all the things. And I feel like it's gonna be a bit more high pressure because it's not Harvey filming me. So I'm gonna get a good rest, watch some Queer Eye. I did bring a face mask up, so maybe I'll do that, I don't know. That is optimistic. So I will see you, hopefully next time I see you will be with a coffee in my hand. Good morning. So I haven't quite got the coffee in my hand yet. I went for breakfast early today and had a little bit of caffeine and got myself ready for shooting. I think I've got quite a lot of makeup on, but I think they've got a studio, so I think that it might be quite bright. So I was like, I'll go full face and hopefully it'll be alright. I've got about 10 minutes to do a little bit of admin before I head off. Just so I want to make sure I'm there early, get some caffeine, and I'll take you with me. So we're at Mobility in Motion, and here is Kiara.
Hi.
And she's going to be showing me around on one of the demo cars today, which I'm really excited about. I had a sneak peek last time I was up here, and I was just blown away by all the different kind of adaptations that are available. So yeah, we're going to have a little look in the studio, and if I turn the camera on, when they said studio, I don't know what I thought. I thought, I don't know, a nicely lit corner, but I did not think it would be a proper studio.
Insult or a compliment.
But it's really, really cool. So yeah, we're going to be doing some filming in here, and we're going to have a nose at this car.
Yeah, so this is one of our demonstration vehicles that we have kitted out with a wide range of different adaptations. Obviously, normally a customer wouldn't have all of these things fitted in their own car because we just have a range of different equipment in here, but we'll kind of go through a little bit more of it later on, do some actual demos and show some of the products in action just so people can see what different options are available to them, because we have like different driving aids to help with driving. We have like loading stowage solutions, so someone that struggles maybe to take their mobility scooter or wheelchair out with them, we have solutions for that. And then also just transfer options as well, so to help getting seated either from standing or from a mobility device to get into their vehicle a little bit easier. So we can go through some of them later, but first, Nicole, I've got some questions for you. One of my questions really for you, Nicole, is what was your relationship with driving like before you started to drive? Like, were you aware that it was a possibility for you? Did you have to do research into that? Were you ever told that it wouldn't be a possibility?
Yeah, I had a really interesting relationship with driving before I even started. Like my dad used to say that I'd be able to go on like a certain scheme. Obviously we're talking like 20 years ago now, so it looked different, but yeah, he used to say you'd be able to get support, you'd be able to get a car, you'd be able to get adaptations, like you'll be able to drive.
Yeah.
And then it became apparent kind of as I got older and started looking at it that it wouldn't be that simple, obviously. And so in the end, once I actually decided I wanted to learn to drive, I approached a driving instructor who had kind of on her resume that she was a disability expert, and she took me to a car park around the corner from my house to kind of have a look at me. And
wow.
Yeah, and she just had me sit in the driver's seat. She took one look at me and she was like, oh, you're going to need about £3,000 worth of adaptations on a car. And at the time I was a university student. I obviously hadn't started the process of learning to drive, and my partner at the time had a company car which we were hoping I could use, which obviously wasn't going to be able to have £3,000 worth of work done on it. So it it really discouraged me, because I was like, what am I going to do? I've got to find the money to buy a car, adapt a car, pay for all the things that come with that, and then the driving test, all the driving lessons. Like, I was staring down the end of like 20 grand's worth of costs in my head, so it just stopped me, like, completely.
Wow. So after obviously driving for many years and obviously your experience, what's made you sort of consider adaptations now in your journey?
I think now for me, driving has become far more regular with like I Am Possible, and then with training up at GB in Manchester. I travel so much, and unfortunately last year I broke my arm just above the wrist. So it's all healed and everything, but in terms of like just strain on the wrist and driving one-handed for like 5 hours at a time, I do feel it, especially like in the cold months, just because I've got a metal plate and stuff. So for me, exploring ways that can ease that, and also the other thing I found was when I get to GB, obviously like Taekwondo is very hippie, so you need your hips, you need them feeling flexible. The way I sit so close to the wheel, because I'm using my right side as well, that it kind of puts a strain on my hips after those 5 hours, because ergonomically I'm sure I'm not sitting right. So if I could have something to help so I could sit back in a kind of a more natural driving position, I think that would help the hips and then also the strain on the wrist. So I'm really keen to explore it.
Perfect. Well, we've got a few different ranges of secondary control devices. So they are steering devices to help obviously with steering aids, and again it is that little bit more relaxed. It reduces a little bit more pressure on the wrist, so it's less on the wrist to have the strength. And they also have like secondary functions on there, so you can control like your lights, horn, wipers, things like that on it, so that you're not also then having to use your hand for steering and then also try and lean forward and operate everything else, like with your indicators and lights and things like that. So we'll have a look at those and see what you think of them, try them out. Let's go.
Awesome, I'm excited.
Cool. So new. Cool. So first of all, we've got the PMAS Ergo Touch. So that's a secondary steering device. Obviously it helps with the one-handed steering, obviously in your case one-handed steering, but obviously some people who might use hand controls as well need that assistance with one-handed steering. It also has the secondary functions on there, so it means that you don't have to take your hand off from steering when you need to operate your signals or your horn or your lights or anything like that. So it also has the washers, the wipers, so it's kind of got your key main secondary functions that you really need to kind of utilise and use within the vehicle.
Nice.
To see how light it is
to steer. Nice. Yes. Love that. That's super light. Wow. Good. Love that. Yeah, that would make life so much easier. I like that a lot.
So how you're sitting now and how you're kind of the distance of that, do you feel, because that is a little bit further away than how you would sit normally driving, how does that actually feel? Like, it is obviously hard because you're not actually out on the roads driving, but how do you think it kind of feels?
Yeah, I feel like it's like that even.
Because again, it's kind of, it is a little bit like you would get used to it.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably have that sort of second nature and you're going like, oh no, I do need to grip it, or do you know what I mean? You'd like want to use like your right arm to grip, but you wouldn't necessarily have to. Like, do you feel like you've got quite a lot of control over it? It's quite light.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and the other thing for me at the moment is, like, going back to Taekwondo, I'm doing a lot of work with physio to try and undo all of the compensating I've been doing, and so me being square in the seat. And not having to twist and stuff is going to help him and me.
Like I say, it can be positioned so it can be fitted like further down here. It's kind of like what you think would be like a natural position for you, because obviously everyone's got a slightly different preference, hasn't they?
Yeah, I'd probably go down here.
A little bit further
for sure,
down,
yeah. Like down that bit, and then you can.
Yeah,
Definitely. Just because when I sit close, I am used to having my hand up here, but it's because I'm so close.
You want to be able to, just because you are a little bit further away now, you have got that. You can just be further down, can't you, really?
Yeah, definitely. Is there any other kind of versions of this out there?
Yeah, so we've now actually got the Intuitive E. So it's a slightly different function. Depending on people's requirements, pressing the button might not always be the best solution for someone. So it spins a little bit more like that. So you don't need as much pressure to press down. So we can swap it and have a go.
So is it this button here?
Yeah, just that button underneath. Oh, there we go. And then again, you just press the button underneath and slot it in for that.
That's super easy, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you can feel like there's not.
So the actual handle itself is quite similar in terms of where you grip it. But obviously now, instead of pressing the buttons, it's more of like a toggle, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Again, for people that maybe don't have as much dexterity or struggle to press on the buttons, but it's good to have obviously the different options for people.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought this one could be kind of intuitive as well if once you're used to the
once you're used to the functions, it just becomes second nature of like just left here, right here, and it would just become second nature, wouldn't it?
That was so much louder. Like, I guess with that one you can hold it down. It's like funny. It feels strange. Oh, that feels nice as well. Like that was lower for sure.
So the other option that we now have as well, which is actually new to the UK market, this hasn't been a solution for people to choose before, so it's really exciting, but it's actually a voice control. So again, for anyone that maybe the Intuitive E, the Ergo Touch aren't quite the right solution, but they want something to still be able to remain independent, control all the secondary functions. This is like a voice control, so it's activated by actually just speaking to it, so you don't need the dexterity requirements or anything like that. So obviously we've got the box itself there.
Oh wow.
And then the sensor for it to activate is here, which you normally activate by like your leg. Yep, makes a noise. So once you've activated, it will beep, and then it will just be sort of like right indicate. You just got to say it strongly, and then if you want to cancel it, it will just be like stop indicate, essentially something like that.
Wow, that's awesome. And the sensor stops like the kids in the back from talking
Yeah,
to the car.
so it'll only be activated when it's actually it can actually be positioned anywhere that's right for the driver. Just in our demonstration vehicle, we just put it so it's activated by the driver's like knee, leg, just because it seems a little bit more convenient. But it could actually be positioned anywhere, so it could be if you're a right-hand driver, left-hand driver, it might be that you wanted it somewhere else here and then you can wave in front of it.
That's really cool. And with the voice activation, is it like set commands or can you like customize it? Like
it's like set commands in terms of just being really clear. So if you want to do the right indicator, it's like right indicator. Like left would just be left indicator. Lights would just be like high beam on, for example, things like that, or horn on, horn activate. Very just clear instructions, like no abbreviations, just because that's how it's programmed to understand what you're saying to it, essentially.
right indicator. Did it. High beam. That's crazy. Low beam. That's wild. Automatically you want to say Alexa low beam. I don't know why. It's because I've got an Alexa in my kitchen. I was talking to it. That's crazy. So everyone has just gone for lunch. We're gonna go get something from the cafe. But I just wanted to have a little debrief because honestly, some of these things that some of the adaptations that they've just shown me have just really blown my mind. As I said to Kiara earlier, I didn't think any adaptation was attainable to me. I had no information on it. I was just given this massive bill from a driving instructor that was meant to be an expert in adaptive driving, and I had no information, and I didn't know anything like this existed, and obviously 15 years ago, so these things probably didn't exist, but there was steering balls and various different other adaptations that could have been presented to me and that would definitely not have cost me £3 and wouldn't have damaged a car, so they could have just gone on the wheel and we'd have been fine. And obviously for me that worked out fine. I found somebody that was willing to support me and teach me without any adaptations, but I've spent a lot of time talking to other people in the community who haven't been that lucky, who either haven't learned to drive because of it or have spent thousands of pounds learning to drive and adapting their car. And the team here just blow me away. And obviously I said I've been here once before just for a chat, and they're just so passionate about what they do. They really want to make driving accessible for people with various different needs. And it just feels like there's nothing they can't work around. If something's a no, then they'll find a different option. And it just, from the moment I met them, I just really wanted to work with them because of that. And I think it could make such a big difference to anybody who is looking to learn to drive, who is looking to adjust the way they drive due to like different needs. It makes such a difference if they just have a chat with the team. Like then I know they're not going to be pushy, and they're just here to support and help you figure out what's right for you. And I think that's really rare. And I'm really excited to be working with them. I'm really excited to try one of these, like out in the wild. And just like, I don't know how much I'm allowed to share, but they've got some really exciting stuff that's going to come up soon in light of everything that's changing around how much support people get through the government for adaptations. They have a solution and I'm so excited for it. When this comes out, they might have just launched it, so you have to check it out. But it's a scheme that I think I might go on. I'm really excited about it, and it would have made the world of difference back when I was learning to drive. And much like when I talk about limb match and how it's such a big gap in the market, is what they are creating with this scheme, I think is a huge gap, and it's something that is so needed. So I'm really excited, and I'm really excited that they're going to be supporting me on my taekwondo journey, and they're going to be supporting limb match as it starts to launch. So really excited. We're going to have lunch and then we're going to have a little walk around the car, and you're going to see all of the different adaptations that are available out there, which I am really excited to go through with Jonathan because he's got a wonderful story behind one of the adaptations in particular. And I think it's just amazing to see what is out there, because it blew my mind when they ran me through the car last time, and now I get to ask all the questions, and apparently he's the one that will have all the answers. So I'm gonna run for lunch and I will see you back around another car, but just really excited, and I think it's a very aligned partnership that we've got going. So yeah, we have just had our lunch and now I've got a session booked with Jonathan just to run through all the adaptations I do at Mobility in Motion, and yeah, just show you guys what can be done on a car.
I'm Jonathan from Mobility in Motion. I'm part of our technical and training team. So today I'm going to give you a run through on some of the adaptations that we have fitted to one of our demonstration vehicles.
So future me here in editing mode, I have my computer right here trying to edit. So I just wanted to come in and just say super quickly that the walk around the car from Jonathan was so valuable. It was over 30 minutes long. I don't want to cut any of it. So what I'm going to do is just give you a little bit of B-roll so you can get a feel for some of the adaptations. And then there's one really lovely element of the walk around that I want to show where he shares where one of the products has come from. So I really want to share that bit. So we'll keep it to that, and then I will post another video very soon with the whole walk around.
What we've got is obviously a rooftop wheelchair carrier for, in this particular scenario, disabled drivers. You can get these as a passenger solution as well.
Okay.
But the majority are driver's side solutions. It can only open one way, so if you order it as a driver's side, then that's what you get. My dad made one of these, a different variant of this, for himself, and that's how our company sort of started.
No.
He made himself one in the 1970s, and how he coped back then was he used to have to go places and ask people to get his wheelchair out of his boot.
Wow.
Which is exactly why he designed one for himself, because he was fed up with not being independent. So he designed it for himself. But prior to that, obviously he would literally just get somewhere and say, "Can you get my wheelchair for me?" So he couldn't do anything unless somebody was at the other end.
Yeah.
This was, I think, if my memory's right, while my mum was pregnant with me, my dad had an accident where he had a car roll over him.
Wow.
And it broke his back, so he was a paraplegic. So because of that, it obviously changed his life, and obviously going forwards our lives as well. It meant that obviously he was a wheelchair user. He originally spent about 8 months in hospital. When he came out of hospital, he was an engineer, so he, after obviously having hand controls fitted to his car, it meant he could drive again. You didn't need to do a test back then. I don't think anyone looked at things back then. So he could obviously drive a car, but it meant that both, well, not me at that young age, but going forwards when I was 8, 9, 10, lifting his wheelchair in and out the back of the car. But he'd always had that thought of developing something like a rooftop wheelchair carrier to load his wheelchair in. And that's how Auto Chair, part of the Mobility in Motion sort of family, that's how the Auto Chair brand started. So it was out of his sort of desire to give himself his independence, because there was no products on the market back then like this to suit his requirements. So he said, "I'll make one myself." And that's what he did, and that's how people just started saying, "That's good, where did you get that from?" And he basically said, "I made it." So they said, "Well, can you make me one?" And that's how the company started.
Wow, that's amazing. I was talking to the team earlier, and we were talking about how disability, it is innovation. And when you're having to adapt to a world where nothing is built for you, you find those gaps very easily, and you see how to fix it. That's just a perfect example, and now it's helping loads of people.
That's ultimately what all of this is. It's progression in what next, and feedback from customers. Constructive feedback we love. Give us ideas, because as I said before, not every customer is the same. I couldn't put you in this car and say you're happy to drive it, because you'd probably say, "Well, how does this work and how does that work?" You don't know enough about it, but everyone has their own requirements, and that's what it's about. So continual development of products, and obviously thinking what's next on the list. But when we come across somebody that we can't help, we like to try and innovate and get around those issues.
Right, Jonathan.
All right,
Appreciate
lovely
that.
to meet you.
Yeah, lovely to meet you.
We'll see you again.
See you soon.
All right, cheers.
So I am on my way home, well not home, I'm on my way to meet some friends at an Airbnb in the country. Some friends I haven't seen for a long time, so I'm really excited. But I've just come straight from Mobility in Motion, from the shoot day, and I'm super excited. I am tired. My brain feels like mush. So I'm gonna sign off for today, and then I just let things percolate and reflect, because honestly, just had the best day learning about everything they do, understanding how they can support various different people with different needs and requirements, and also how they can help me with my long journeys that I'm doing a lot of right now, like right now where I'm going to be doing another 3 hours. And just so exciting. The team is so lovely and they're so passionate, and I just love it. So yeah, I will let it percolate overnight, and then I will revisit you in the morning. So it is a beautifully sunny Monday morning. I'm back from my weekend away, which was beautiful, and I've had a few days just to let my trip to Mobility in Motion percolate. And honestly, I had such a good time with the team. Like I really feel like I learned a lot about what is out there and available for people who might need adaptations when it comes to driving. And some of it just like blew my mind. And I actually come away with a really clear idea on what might work for myself. And the team were just looking at if one of the kind of one-handed driving adaptations would work with my car, so it's really exciting. So I might be able to give one of those a go. But yeah, like for me, who as someone who has always had quite strong reservations when it comes to driving adaptations for myself, I just found it so interesting. And yeah, like the team are amazing, and like I alluded to before, they have got this really exciting new system whereby you can get access to their cars and their adaptations at a monthly payment if you can't go through the Motability scheme, which makes it way more accessible, especially for someone like me who doesn't kind of fit into the boxes that it would take to get any support from Motability. It's really nice to know that Mobility in Motion, they support anybody UK-wide. They can fit their adaptations onto any car. So you've got the Motability scheme cars, you've got privately owned cars, like even like second-hand cars like this one here, like my baby. So yeah, I feel like they can really support kind of a lot of people who might want to explore kind of adaptations when it comes to driving. And like the other thing, obviously I went up to Mobility in Motion just to kind of really understand everything when it came to like what they can provide. But they do actually provide a service where they can come to your house, and like there's no obligation to obviously get anything because you don't know what's going to work for you. But like you might have seen in some of the B-roll that I showed you of the walk around that I did with Jonathan, there is so many options out there that you like, unless you kind of see them in person sometimes, I don't think that you really know what can help. And I think the other thing that's really good that the team they sent me over some information after my visit, and hearing that like there's a 3-year warranty on any of the adaptations is really good, and they have like a really long kind of aftercare support system as well, which is really great, I think, for people whose needs might change, or obviously cars might change. Just for me, as someone coming into kind of car adaptations from outside the system, I think it's really great. And obviously talking to a lot of people in the community about some of the struggles that they might have when it comes to even understanding what's out there, I just think Mobility in Motion in terms of just understanding that are really great. So honestly, just had the best time. Obviously, like Kiara and Charlie were just incredible as well. I had such a laugh. I can't wait for you guys to see kind of the longer version of the walk around their fully adapted car, because some of the adaptations just blew my mind. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll keep you updated when I do get my adaptation through.